Hi everyone, I'm Sadie Thoma, Director of US Ads Marketing at Google. AI is empowering brands and agencies to push the boundaries of their imagination, explore new possibilities, and enhance the creative process and the work in exciting ways. We saw this firsthand when we started to put Google AI in the hands of top creative agencies and invited them to create an impossible ad for a current client. One of the agencies who embraced this challenge was Monks. Joining me to talk about how AI is changing the creative game is Roni Sebastian, Executive Creative Director at Monks. Roni, thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Google came to you and your team and said, would you partner with us and think about creating an impossible ad for any client? So how would you use AI through the process to change the game and come up with something impossible? So how did you and your teams know where to begin and what to do?
We started where we always do, which is really trying to understand the business problem that we're looking to solve. And for Hatch, which is a sleep wellness device brand, we recognize and learned, through our experience with them that, they are a mid-sized brand with big ambitions, and they need to increase the brand and product awareness, as well as increase the performance of their ads, right? Really upper and lower funnel marketing, but to kind of balance this consumer education with an increase in sales would require a high volume of creative in market. And to be able to reach these multiple audiences and multiple mindsets with all of these creative ideas and executions, there was really only one way to do it.
So you went to Hatch as a client and said, we want to try to use AI through the process and come up with personalized ads across personas for you. What was that conversation like? How did they react?
I mean, they were excited. They were also very curious to see how we might improve on what they've already done, because they had a very clear sense of who their target audience was. What they didn't have as clear a sense of were these potentially untapped audience segments. So we started with their own first-party data, the research and insights they had on their own personas. We fed that into AI as a jumping-off point, as well as all of the institutional brand knowledge that they had and all of their brand materials. And from there, we were able to, with the use of AI, uncover new niche audiences that they hadn't yet reached. We were able to dimensionalize those audiences and really understand their mindsets. We were able to use AI to kind of inspire and inform a creative platform that could then be executed at scale so that we could deliver relevant messages to each of those audiences.
Okay, so once you digested the brief, I heard that your team said something along the lines of, this sounds great, but how can we make it even more impossible? And you set out to not just create the work and create the campaign, but also launch it so that you could roll it in market and see how consumers responded to it. So can you just talk us a little bit more through how you brought this campaign to life in such a short amount of time as well?
The impossible feat for us was really to fully develop and launch a campaign. So we really wanted to test ourselves and see how much we could accelerate our own process. And doing so, not only were we able to get to market, but in half the time that it would have taken us using traditional methods, we were able to quickly uncover these different personas. We were able to converse with the personas. We developed a core creative platform that was consistent in its promise, but adaptable enough to flex the different personas and mindsets. And then we were able to actually execute and create all of these assets to mix and match different messages against that core platform, but have it come to life in different ways that was both consistent, but also personalized and relevant to each of the users. So, we were able to get more efficient in our production, but also we saw improved business results. So I think the actual numbers are, the likes of 80% increase in click-through rate.
That's amazing.
Of those ads that people click through, there was a 46% improvement in time spent on the site, and 31% more likely to convert, so much better cost per purchase.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure the clients were really excited to see those numbers and to know that you're able to do it that quickly. What did you learn from this process, and what are you doing to incorporate those learnings into work you're doing for Hatch Forward or other clients as well?
What we did here was disrupt the traditional process of campaign development. And what that inspired me to kind of take away from is to, look at everything we're doing through that lens of disruption, and breaking down, this is the way we think about it, a full kind of development life cycle or process, whatever it is that we're actually creating, whatever the deliverable is, break that down into these microservices. And then within those microservices, think about how AI can help us through either acceleration, automation, or elevation to really change and improve the speed, the effectiveness, the efficiency, perhaps even the execution. And then stitching all those together in new ways really has perhaps more macro disruption.
For any marketers or CMOs that maybe haven't yet fully started to dive in the way you are and the way you have with Hatch on AI, what would you say to them? How would you encourage, or where should they begin to create or think about creating their own impossible ads?
Yeah, well, first I'd say call us. No, I think you just have to start somewhere. It's hard to say exactly where they should start. The highest hurdle is always the first one. I think it's just a matter of kind of dipping your toes in, starting to experiment. AI shouldn't change it won't change the goals that they're looking to achieve or their key metrics, but it can help them unlock new ways of achieving them. So, whether it's strategic development, audience research, brainstorming creative ideas and needing a sparring partner, or even iterating against an existing ideas, these are all some places that you can start. But I would encourage people to just get in there. I think everyone who has started to use AI has been surprised. And maybe the first interaction isn't the best, but one leads to another, and eventually it's going to become useful.
I agree, and I also think what's important for all of us is to roll up our sleeves and just experiment and try and touch the AI experience. So I'm really excited about partnering with you all, about partnering with the industry to figure out how we can define the next wave of marketing and the amazing creative work that will come from the new tools like AI that are at our disposal now. So thank you for such a great discussion. It was really fun talking to you, Roni. I really appreciate you being here.
It's been really fun. Thanks for having me. You have an amazing team. You're a great leader, and
You
looking
too.
forward to more opportunities to collaborate.